Well, happy Friday to everybody. It's about 5:30. You can see the snow's blowing in. The ambient temperatures dropped probably 15 degrees in the last hour. Um, we're under a blizzard warning. We might get lucky and it might just skate right past us, and 40 miles to the east of us might actually get 8 or 10 inches of snow, and we might just get a dusting. But you can see it's just starting here. I am clearly not wearing enough clothes to be out here. Alright, so it is now Saturday morning. It's currently about 14 degrees. Weather app says feels like 6. We didn't even get enough snow to cover the grass, and you can see over there on the hillside it's already melted away. So we fared okay. Wasn't a blizzard. What say you, bundled up lady carrying firewood?
What?
Are you hiding your face again?
Yeah.
Damn inconsistent woman, you. One week she wants to be on camera, the next week she doesn't.
I ain't done up.
Just because you ain't got hair and makeup, if they can't take you at your worst, they don't deserve you at your best, right?
Well.
Jesus Christ, I'm starting to sound like I belong here. The guy that brought the firewood the other night was like, if you hadn't have told me you weren't from here, I wouldn't have been able to tell.
Oh.
Like, fuck you, man. Thanks for the wood. That's what's in the woodshed. Some dry wood, finally. She went to feed the goats and started stacking firewood and make me feel like a incompetent husband for my wife stacking the firewood. But then again, I was out here at 7 o'clock this morning getting firewood, so I guess it's her turn, right? Fucking cold. Well, what's up, world? Definitely in a little bit better spirits today than a couple of those clips in that last video. I contemplated whether to even put those out, because I didn't want anybody to legitimately think I was asking them to buy me a pellet stove. It was just, I made the judgment call to go ahead and put it out there just to let you see, at least at the moment, where I was in my state of delirium and having not slept. Coming back from feeding the goats, you see I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's like, I want to say, not last night, but the night before, it was 10 degrees. Never going to get a week of mid-40s, just under freezing. And then, depending on what happens with the weather that blows in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, can't judge anything more than a couple of days out weather-wise here. Because we're right on the line between snow and rain. So, I mean, we're going to get some sort of precipitation. You want to lean too hard, the house might actually fall down. What was I getting at? Anyway, yeah, we're right on the line between rain and snow, so we'll see what happens there. However, I had a neighbor of mine who's had livestock for years and years and years. Have him come out and take a look at that funny little electric fence that I think I'm going to actually move it to a different spot before I hook it up, but I didn't realize how incredibly basic. Sometimes when things are too easy, anyway, I had him stop and we got to talking about, remember, a couple weeks back, see, this is where if I was a quality YouTube channel, I would go and cut that clip and I'd put it right here, but, I'm not. I'd put in the effort if I were getting views, but then again, maybe if I put in the effort, I would get views. Anyway, upon talking to him and some things that he found on his land, which is just over top of that hill, down the backside of that particular valley there, there were battles in the Civil War here. And upon, I showed him the piece of the video where I saw that, and he said that is more than likely a burial site of some sort. That most of the people around here who have owned this land, when they bury their people, they put headstones on it. Typically when they find piles of rocks like that, it's Civil War or maybe even Revolutionary War. I don't think the trees that are around it are old enough to have been there per se, but it's a pretty big pile of rocks. It's between knee and waist high, and it is not naturally occurring. So upon that, my wife emailed Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech is highly interested. I don't know if it's going to be sometime this month, if they're going to wait till it's a little bit warmer, or we're going to play it by ear, see with somebody from Virginia Tech is actually going to come out and take a look at that and tell me what it is that I've got. They're a historic graveyard archaeologist or something. I don't even know how the hell you get that job, but so that'll be interesting. I will definitely film that when somebody like that shows up here. Best bring some boots, because it is a hike, but I will keep you guys updated when I figure out what's going on there. I don't know what that means for this piece of dirt, if that then becomes public domain and I have to allow access to it, and they like genealogy or dental records or some shit. I don't have the first idea how any of that works, or if that'll just put it on the map as a historical marker, and when I open that campsite up out there, I literally will have a campsite with a historical marker on the map, which could be interesting. Play it by ear and see. But anyway, I gotta go do my daily wood stacking venture. I'm starting to shiver because the wind's blowing and I'm not moving, so I gotta get my ass moving and go get some firewood. And here's something else I didn't mention. I had just gone to the car wash. It started snowing the other night, and I drove this thing nice and slow down the road so it didn't get dusty, didn't anything. And as soon as it started snowing the other night, about 6:30 or 7 o'clock, it was dark, and I hear a van outside. And it turns out the FedEx guy is parked right here, and he's looking for the people that, if you look real close, you can see the peak of their roof there, that are the sister and brother-in-law of the original settlers of this chunk of dirt. Boy, oh boy, that's going to make a nice garden in the spring right there, isn't it? Anyway, FedEx guy was in a two-wheel drive van, and the camera doesn't really pick up on the amount of, like, somehow those people drive up and down this road in a Buick Century, maybe an Oldsmobile, some sort of like a late 90s, early 2000s GM product. The FedEx man, see, you got to go up this hill, and then there's like an 85-degree right turn to get up their driveway. He wasn't making it in a two-wheel drive Chevrolet van. So I told him to move his van back, so he moved it over there, and I got turned around and headed on up the hill to help him deliver that package, because those people are like 85 years old, and whatever was coming in the mail or in FedEx, I'm sure they needed. I don't know what it was. It didn't even stick around. It was snowing like crazy, but then they come back down the hill, go through this muck, and now the truck's dirty again. But oh well, get to it at some point. But yeah, I had to make a FedEx package delivery in my dock. Alright, so I made a trip to the Amish discount grocery. That stuff's not included. So I got 2 cans of the espresso that my wife drinks. It's a can of green chilies, some green enchilada sauce, a box of cereal, french fried onions, a squirt, granola bars, chickpeas. Those were a quarter. 99 cents for walnuts, beef jerky, chickpeas, sriracha chickpeas. This rice is really good. It's fantabulous if you add shredded chicken to it. Some kung pao chicken seasoning, and a couple of little salami and cheese packets. That right there is what you get for $26.08 at the Amish discount grocery. Alright, so I typically try to keep my trips to town one trip a day. And it never occurred to me that where my mother's house is at, she would still have snow in her driveway. So she hasn't left her house Friday, Saturday, I can't remember when it is we got the snow, because it was by, I don't know, 11 o'clock the next morning. It had pretty much all melted away because of the amount of southern exposure I got, it was only 20 something degrees, but the southern exposure that I have at my house, with the sun, it all melted away. It didn't even occur to me that 4 or 5 days later my mother would still be stuck at home because she's got a 2-wheel drive Kia. And her driveway's still covered in frozen snow, and she's afraid to drive in it. So I'm currently headed on down this 2-lane road. As we're talking, I just crossed from Virginia into Tennessee. That's literally like, I could walk to Tennessee from where I live in Virginia. Sounds good. Anyway, perhaps I check back and we see how bad her driveway isn't and how much she actually didn't need me to come do this. Anyway, see you there. Well, it turns out I honestly don't think she would be able to get her car up and down this driveway. This is a miserable piece of dirt. Need to cut them goddamn trees down so she gets some sunlight. But it's not happening on my watch. There's a power line right there. I'm good at what I do with a saw, but I ain't that good. Anyway. It's just a couple hours after I got pulled over. Nah, it went away.
But I heard sirens.
Yes.
Oh, excuse my language, people. Fuck!
I'm alert. Alright, so just when I'm starting to think that I couldn't possibly have any lower opinion on this guy's level of intelligence. I mean, these two are, you know, they're goat stupid. This motherfucker takes the cake right here. I started a load of laundry, which I always have a load of laundry. I'm never out of laundry to do. At any given time, I have an entire day worth of laundry, even if I did it yesterday. Anyway, start a load of laundry, and I look out the window, and this guy's banging his head against the side of this tree by himself, just like, let me just bang my head on the tree. Oh, man. It's not a smart animal. So it's the next day, after having been pulled over in the middle of nowhere where there was no phone service. I'm still grateful that was an honest policeman, because that guy could have took me for everything I had. In hindsight, thinking about it, you know, disarm you and then fucking take everything you got. I've never personally had an experience like that with the police, but this is the kind of place where shit like that happens, and then they make a true crime documentary about what happened to your body. You know, because we were, I don't know, maybe half a mile from my house, you know, and you see those crime dramas where there's dirty cops. Anyway, thankfully he wasn't. I'm in one piece. Still have my firearm. You know, I can't complain. Well, we're expecting rain. We're under a flood watch from 3:30 this morning until I can't remember if it's 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. on Friday, but today's Wednesday. It's about 7:30 in the morning, give or take. So I gotta come out here and I gotta move some more firewood before it starts to rain, so that I'm not standing out here in the rain. I do thank my wife for buying me a waterproof jacket, so that when it is raining, I get to come out and do it anyway. But I'm gonna move. I'm having troubles, man, with my. I've had 2 reconstructive knee surgeries on my right knee in the past, and I'm for whatever reason today. Today, for the last week, but today especially, I'm having issues with my right knee. I can't fully straighten the joint. In physical therapy, they would call that 0 degrees of extension. I cannot get to 0 degrees of extension. So walking around a little bit with a hobble. Um, well, apparently I failed to send a message. This phone's weird. The Wi-Fi doesn't pick up as far, and I have no phone service out here, so I have to text on Wi-Fi. And it just let me know that it didn't send a message that I sent 5 minutes ago because I was out feeding the goats. It doesn't pick up out there. Anyway, yeah, so I'm having issues with that, and I'm having issues with my hands. So I'm going to move as much of this firewood as I can before my hands start to cramp up. Catch you in a bit. Give me, I'm a little out of breath. I'm walking up the hill here. You know, it seems like now that I've started talking about the fact that the people in this area litter, people in this area have figured out where I'm at, and they come out here and litter on purpose. I mean, just garbage. I'm walking up this road here. The explanation as to why the sheriff was out here in the first place. Did that with the road grader. Why the sheriff was out here in the first place is that they were chasing some. Yeah, look at all this shit, man. McDonald's and Taco Bell. The nearest McDonald's is 45 minutes away. I mean, I'm done picking up the trash off the road. I got to start doing it on my hillside. But anyway, there was a high-speed pursuit out here while I was in town yesterday, and apparently they wrecked up here a little ways. I'm going to see if I can figure out where they wrecked. Well, isn't that just savory? This is actually where my land ends. It's pretty high dollar. Yeah, that's why that no trespassing sign is on that tree. I don't know exactly right here somewhere, but as it's told, it's this last tree with the ivy on it. I'm going to see if I can find up here where these people wrecked off of the side of the road. One of them took off into the bushes up here, and that's why they were out here. They were looking for somebody. And then about 6:30, 7 o'clock last night, we're sitting on the couch, you know, watching some TV, minding our business, having a couple beers, you know, and a sheriff comes flying past the house at about 60 miles an hour with his lights on coming up this road. So maybe they found him. Yeah, got a pretty good idea who's eating McDonald's on this road and throwing it out the window, but I'll keep that opinion to myself, because I know about 90% of the people who live on this road. There's only 2 or 3 houses from where this road starts to where it ends where I don't know who lives in it. And number one, they're not the kind of people that eat McDonald's, and number two, they're not the kind of people that litter. I got a pretty good idea who it is, but you know, nothing I can do about it. It's not like I'm going to bag it up and put it on the guy's front porch. Anyway, I'm going to keep walking up this road till I can figure out where these people wrecked. This one's almost laughable right here. There's some more litter. Who throws their vacuum cleaner in the creek? This is my closest neighbor. This is about, I don't know, half a mile up the road from my my driveway. This guy's never here. Like I know what the man looks like and I know what he drives, but he's never here when I'm not in the middle of doing something, so I've never actually met that guy before. One of these days, he's probably gone till it's cold. I'm gonna keep walking. So it's kind of hard to tell. There's a tire mark. It goes up the side of that embankment right there. Maybe something broke. Hey, look, imagine that. More McDonald's trash. Somebody had Subway. Styrofoam cups are still legal in this state. You know, you're not supposed to drink and drive. And there's literally, I could go into the aluminum can business picking up beer cans on the side of this road. I mean, I could probably fill an entire black trash bag. Well, there's some more up there too. That's the only thing that I really saw, other than potentially right here, where it looks like maybe, but that wouldn't have been too far off the road to, I guess if you were being chased, you're not backing up, you're getting out and running. But they they ran up, one of them at least, ran up into those woods, which makes absolutely no sense because this road just circles back around. And I mean, literally, if you're going to try to get out going that direction, this road just comes back around the other side of that. Like, there's nowhere to go, man. I don't know. Then again, I don't know how spun you'd have to be to think that it was a good idea to try to run away from the police on this road. Run away from the police in general, but especially on this road. This is a 20-mile-an-hour road all day long. Like, this is not a run from the police road. This gravel, it's nice for when it snows and when it freezes. It keeps the road from being slick in relation to a paved road. But it's still a 20-mile-an-hour road either way you look at it. Hey, more styrofoam. This is got to be the most polluted place on the planet. There's an old fallen down barn. Well, it fell down barn. But it's funny, you know, this has been a blue state since the beginning of the country. They elected a Republican governor, and I'm not trying to talk politics so much as the Democrat Party is hardcore for climate change, being green, recycling, even though we all know plastic just gets shipped to India and burned. There ain't no money out here. Nobody's got any money. They can't tax the environment out here because nobody's got any money. And the proof that there's literally everywhere you look, there's, I mean, it's unreal. And I realize this is all private land. And the people around here, although they lived in a blue state, aren't the slightest blue. I think I've seen one Prius the entire time I've lived here. Yeah, they don't do anything about litter or the cleanliness of the environment out here because they can't tax it. You go down to the river's the same way. It's all full of garbage. I mean, hell, I got a gray water line that runs into my creek. You know, as I sit here holding this phone, I actually have a thingamadoo to hold it to sit on the table so that I don't have to actually hold it. It's actually kind of a heavy deal. And it isn't so bad other than you gotta spread your fingers apart and hold on to it. Your pinky gets sore. And quite literally, if I had two complaints about this particular device in relation to the 40 that I had with the other one, like it was always out of space. The applications that were on it, I couldn't set to save to the 64 gig SD card, so the video editing software that I was using, I couldn't save to my card. I had to actually go in and, like, to every single app, every time I went to make a video, and I had to clear out all the data, log back into it so that there was enough room for a video. You know, things like that. The only two complaints I have with this phone is that it's kind of heavy and bulky, but I think that's honestly the case that's on it because it's got a little metal thing on the back of it. To which I could very easily probably go to Walmart and find a case for this thing on clearance for like $5. And that it doesn't pick up Wi-Fi any further than like the front porch. Like if I go inside of the container, I get no Wi-Fi. If I go out to where the goats are, there's no Wi-Fi. It doesn't pick it up where the Android phone did. I could be almost all the way out where I was working on the campsite, still get Android or still get Wi-Fi on the Android, and I could be anywhere inside of the container and still get Wi-Fi. But let me reiterate, there was so much wrong with that other phone that I was using. That just the Android operating system itself is the way that it's set up. I mean, they're not completely different, but all of like as far as moving around inside of it and doing and using things, they're not so much different there. I just don't have to go and undo all the shit that I didn't need. Um, anyway, thankful, still thankful to the lady who sent me this phone. Anyway, it's Thursday night about 5:30. We're still under a flood watch until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So if something should happen out of the ordinary between now and then, I'll go ahead and film it and upload another video, provided I have power. And if I don't have power, if I can figure out how to get the generator hooked up so that I can run an extension cord to the modem slash Wi-Fi box if something extreme happens. If you're in the path of the tornadoes that are happening today down in Mississippi and in Alabama and over in that particular region, I hope you're doing well. If you're in the path of anything to do with this particular storm, I wish you the best of luck. That's going to wrap it up for this week. This little guy has a sister at my mother's house who's equally as much of a pain in the ass. This is the... Hold on, kitty. And I know that you'll grow out of it. Yes, you will. You'll grow out of it. Oh, every bad habit that a kitten can have, that little motherfucker's got. Walter is just chill until he starts to stir the pot. And then they're both running 600 miles an hour around the inside of the house. Leaping off of tables, climbing the curtains, pulling the curtain rods down, yanked down the shower curtain in the bathroom in the kitchen this morning. Start fighting and chewing on each other at 3 o'clock in the morning when we're trying to sleep, and I guess that's my alarm clock to get up and tend to the fire. I really hope he gets over that shit sooner than later. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. I'll see you when I do. Peace out, fuckers.